Welcome to Zone In Sports, your favorite spot for real talk, bold takes, and everything in the zone when it comes to sports. From hard hitting analysis of the Miami Hurricanes football to the hottest stories across the sports world, we're bringing you that energy, passion, and a little bit of swagger, just like the U. So, whether you're tailgating in the Coral Gables or arguing in the group chats or just vibing in your way to work, buckle up. You're in the zone with your host, D. Hamp.
All righty out there. Boy, it seemed like it's been a long time since we've been on this show. Of course, we haven't been here since Miami lost to Indiana in the championship game. I got Big E in the backstage. Get ready to come on. Before you get started, please hit that like button, that share button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I want to send a personal shout out to all the people of Miami that showed me and Biggie a good time while we were down there. And no further ado. Oh, also, before I bring them up, I'm going to drop a banner for the call in. It's going to be later in the show. Each phone call is going to be 2 to 3 minutes. So be respectful if you want to come on the show. Let's get right into it. Let's bring E up to the stage. What's up, E?
What's good? What's good? How you doing? How's everybody out there? Hopefully everybody's safe with this weather phenomenon we got going on and what's to come in the next 12 to 14 hours. So
yeah, man, it looks like it's going to be a bear out there for anybody that's in that south of or north of Miami. So I mean Georgia all the way up, they getting pounded pretty good. So, but let's hop right into it, man. Let's talk about our thoughts before the game, and you and I kind of discussed some things before the game. Thought we actually really had a good chance to win the game, which really bear fruit. We really did. But let's talk about before the game before we get into what actually happened in the game. Your thoughts going into the game?
Personally, I was optimistic. I wasn't nervous. I felt more nervous playing Ohio State. I was not nervous. I was pretty confident. I really felt like with the intangibles in play, Miami could not only play with these guys, but overtake these guys. And they did exhibit some of that, I should say, especially in the second half. They were more dominant than Indiana in the second half. But leading up to the game, man, you and I were at a great atmosphere. And shout out to where we were at and the people that hosted. That was great. It was a really nice atmosphere. I felt good going into the game. I really did, Dwayne. I felt good. You felt good, leading up to the game. I got there Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and I was feeling good. I said, hey, I really felt like we were going to win this game, man. I really did. I felt like, hey, if they do what they're supposed to do, they should have no problem winning this game. So I felt quite well and optimistic pregame.
Yeah. Okay. The game starts out. Of course, a lot of people were, hindsight 2020, but they started off really slow. First of all, credit to Indiana because Indiana played a good game, especially in the first half. I thought Shannon Dawson was a little bit slow to kind of pick up on what Indiana was doing, and ultimately,
I felt the same way. I felt like the first play of the game, Fletcher ran for 9 yards off the left side.
Yeah,
first play. And I thought, wow, he ran behind Markel Bell and got 9 yards.
Right.
I said, if this is going to be like this. But then they go to 3 straight passes. The next pass got a first, and then they went to 4 straight passes, and then you're punting. And I'm like, why did he go away from that?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, you were trying to do too much with Dawson. I'm like, trying to get something for Beck. I couldn't understand that. I would have just leaned on CC and leaned on Bell. And once they started jamming up the middle, the zone read was there to the outside. I don't see why Pringle didn't get in the game a little bit to the outside. You know, if you're going to use Fletcher and Brown to beat them up in the middle in the A and B gap, you know, I would have ran some zone with Pringle. Maybe their thinking was they wanted, you know, Fletcher's the feature back. You know, he gets all the touches, but, you know, we're in the championship game. You're trying to win. I'm going to use every weapon I have available to me.
I thought in the first half, my personal opinion, I thought the thing with the Pringle situation, I thought that it reminds me more of basketball, shortening the rotation, things of that nature. And I thought that Dawson kind of really felt comfortable with the Pringle, Marty Brown, less mistakes happening. Then that I agree, Pringle probably should have got more burn. I just thought that Dawson really just was shortening the rotation of the guys that he played because it was high stakes, you know. So people look at it two ways, like, hey, use everybody you got, but he thinking like, hey, nah, I'm going with the guys that I really trust that will limit the mistakes we might have. So that's just a little difference. But I really thought, like you said, that I just think he just started off slow and trying to figure out.
They did, you know, they started slow and he didn't make his adjustments till after the half, and then you could see the zone running to the outside was there. Indiana had no answer for it. I felt like Miami overcame some of the mistakes, you know, the penalties, the jumping off sides, third and long, Bain.
Yeah.
I don't mean to do that, but it happens. You got to be able to make up for that. I just felt like in the second half of the game, Miami really started to dominate them, especially in the trenches. I'm not so quick to give Indiana all that credit because, and I'm not being a homer or a hater. I only say that because Miami was dominating them in the trenches in the second half. And Mendoza didn't beat you with his arm. He didn't throw any touchdowns.
Right.
You kept this high-powered offense to 20 points. This is the same team that put on 58 points on Oregon. They put, 40 plus on Alabama. You kept them to 20.
Yeah.
And the draw play with Mendoza, the magnificent touchdown he had, I'm thinking to myself, you know, they say the call got in late for the quarterback draw. When they got the call in, but by the time they didn't get the defensive ends didn't get the call, and then Poyser was in position to make the tackle, and he missed the tackle, and he did what he did. Hats off to Mendoza on that play. That was an awesome play on his part. But 4th and 5, you stop him there, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game. But you know, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. You know, the block punt is what hurt. I don't understand the block punt. I don't understand what 87 was doing, that you just barely touch the guy and he runs right around you and blocks the punt. I'm not a fan of punters getting the punt and running to the left or running to the right. And
was it Aussie punters and stuff like that?
I'm not a fan of that.
The funny part about that, before you go further on to that, is that I talked to Coach Sullinger several times on this, and he's been harping to me that the special teams been shit all year. And I never really took it to the heart, but he meant like they weren't explosive. They haven't been explosive of a championship team. And they, you know, with the field goal kicking, it's been good, but not as great as last year, of course, when we, you know, when we had
Borregales. I mean, look what he's doing.
So
he's on the verge of getting to a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
So I mean, I understood his point that he was making with the special teams, and it really just came back to bite us in the long run. You know, the special teams.
That was a killer, man, because the adjustments Dawson made in the second half with the zone running and getting Malachi into space, because they were bracketing him, but when you got him out there, he made stuff happen.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the officiating in the game. There was PIs on both sides.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mugging on both sides, holding, tugging. Both teams did it, but they let them play.
Yeah.
They didn't throw flags all over the place and call pass interference here, and unless it was so blatantly obvious. they let some stuff go. If you would have told me that Miami's defense would have kept them to 20 points and had 3 sacks, and Fletcher would have had 120 plus yards rushing with 2 touchdowns, I would have said we win this game.
Yeah.
I would have said that's a Miami win.
Yeah.
I give credit to Indiana. They did come to play hard in the trenches. Their running back ran hard.
Oh, he ran extremely hard.
Yeah. Really hard. He was very impressive. But Miami's defensive line was very impressive. I want to give a shout out to Blunt and Scott. You know, Blunt is a beast.
Yes, sir.
He is a beast, and he's coming back next year. And I think this defensive line next year, with adding the guy from Missouri and with Jason Taylor getting his hands on him and getting him, he had 9 sacks from Mizzou last year. I think with him coming in with Lightfoot, and you got Lowe coming back, they showed their line. It's 5 stars all the way across that line. It looks like what Alabama used to look like.
Right.
Yes, those are going to be some big shoes to fill with Mesidor and Bain, but you're coming right back with elite.
Yeah.
You're not coming back with 3-star guys, or these guys are all really, really good. Lightfoot showed you how good he really is, and he's going to put on another 15 to 20, maybe 25 pounds of muscle in the offseason to be on one end, and the fellow we got from Missouri on the other end. And with the defensive tackles we got, with a 4-man rotation, and they're all 4-star guys, 5-star dudes, they might have the best D-line again in college football. So Dwayne, I was very disappointed when we left.
Yeah.
I was not angry. I was just disappointed because I felt like they let that one get away. I felt like Indiana didn't beat them. They lost the game. They let it get away from them. Indiana didn't impose their will on Miami like they did other teams. They didn't just dominate. You know, I got a lot of love for Carson Beck. Shout out to Carson Beck. I am not mad at Carson Beck. That last play was indicative of his arm is just, I don't think his arm really never healed from that injury to throw that deep ball, because I want to emphasize for the folks who are watching, because a lot of people were saying, oh, Malachi was open in the middle. He wasn't.
Boy was coming down on him.
Right. He made the right read. The play was there. Marion beat his corner, and the safety was out of position. Alabama ran that exact same play in the Rose Bowl. The exact same play, bro. You go back to the Rose Bowl highlights and watch it. He ran the same play. Ty Simpson threw it deep to the back half of the end zone, and Isaiah Horton caught it for a touchdown. The same play. Indiana played the same defense, the same lineup. If once again, that infamous word, but if Beck puts that ball to the middle back half of the end zone, Marion catches that for a touchdown, and they win the game because he had this guy beat.
We got a Eric Smith 5300. It says
another one.
I said defense made a lot of mistakes tackling, which I really think hurt Miami. Indiana played hard, but if Miami was on their A game, they would have won it. 2026 season is going to be exciting, real exciting.
I could say that for a few plays, yes. Those 4th down conversions, yes. I couldn't understand why O.J. Frederick was covering 80 in the first half. And then O'Connor was covering him in the second half, because Xavier Lucas came back in the second half after the targeting in the Ole Miss game. So you got Lucas and you got OJ out there. They're gonna play, because OJ was showing his butt in the first half. Almost had an interception on that back shoulder pass in the end zone. Shout out to the Indiana receiver for pulling his left arm down, because he turned around and was going to catch that ball falling on his butt for an interception in the end zone. There were mistakes made in this game, but this game could have been won by Miami. It really could have been won. And I really think the slow start offensively in the first half, that hurt. And I think there's a combination of things.
I'll say this, and I go back when I tell people this, for those that want to put it on bet, really, Indiana made a mistake because Miami shouldn't even get the ball back because they jumped off sides, moved them back 5 yards. They couldn't run the clock out, and that's how Miami got the ball back.
Yeah,
They could have, they could have ran it.
They had that false start. That hurt
Yeah,
them. Indiana didn't make mistakes all year.
right.
And they made a lot of mistakes in this game with false starts. Roughing the passer on Beck would put you on the 50.
Yeah.
If you would have told me we're getting the ball with 1:47 and work down the field, I'm saying I'll take that. I'll take my chances to win this game.
Right.
That roughing the passer really helps. So that puts Miami on the 50 with like 50 or 52 seconds left. I'm like, okay, a couple passes, even if you catch it in the middle of the field, and they got to stop the clock to reset the chains, and you can spike the ball. I really liked our chances, and like I said, that play was there. Marion had his guy beat, and the safety was out of position. If that ball is thrown in the right spot, Miami wins that game. It just showed that Beck's deep ball is not there. It just was not there. He never really had that great of a deep ball anyway, and I think a lot of it had to do with that elbow injury.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is what it is. I was disappointed, man. I was disappointed. It was a long hour drive, back to
right. It was long. It says Terrell Rich says Damon Wilson is a beast coming from Mizzou. Yeah, I had to check him out. He is a beast.
He is a beast. He's going to be a beast like Bain, and I think him and Lightfoot, and then you're going to have Hayden Lowe out there. Lowe showed so much potential.
Yeah.
Beginning of the year. And then he had some type of little injury, and Cristobal said, nope. He knows what he has in him. We're going to sit you and redshirt you for the rest of the year and get you back 100% for 26. I think with Blunt and Scott coming back on that D line, I think that defensive line is going to be as good or better. You got Torrey coming back. He was great. Red shirt.
Yeah.
For the injury, for being out with the ACL, people are going to start bitching about the age of these guys, and he's coming back for his 7th year or whatever. And people forget you got a year for COVID.
Yeah.
You got red shirted a year. That's 2 years, and now you get a waiver for an injury. So that's 3 plus your 4 years of playing. There's your 7 eligibility. So folks out here need to quit with this BS. You got him and Aguirre at linebacker. Plus they got a couple 5-stars.
Yeah, they got Moten coming back. Somebody put there.
Moten is coming back. You got Moten.
What's up, Ham 850? What's up, OG Canes?
Oh my goodness. Moten, Blunt, and Scott. I got 5-stars all the way across this board and coming off the bench to rotate.
Right.
So the people we lost, I'm not upset about that. Pringle jumped in the portal and came back. I think the reason why Pringle didn't get a lot of click in the playoffs is because his pass blocking is not the best. He's a little guy. He's 5'9", and on blitzes he gets blown up.
Right.
So in critical passing situations, I don't think I want him out there to protect my quarterback or pick up a blitzer coming across the middle because the size differential there. Okay.
Right.
I hope we don't lose Lyle. I don't want to lose Jordan Lyle. I'd like to have that 4-headed monster back there with Lyle, Pringle, Brown, and Fletcher. There's rumors that Brown may go in the portal, but I don't think he's going to leave.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's leaving. I'm not upset about JoJo leaving. That's good for him. It wasn't about talent with JoJo. It was more of a concentration thing.
Right.
He dropped too many passes. I can't put you in the game if you're not going to be able to produce.
Now, who are we talking about?
JoJo Trader.
JoJo. Yeah.
No, you dropped too many passes. You dropped a pass in the Ole Miss game.
Yeah.
You gave up. You dropped a pass, which turned into a pick in the SMU game after you scored the first touchdown.
Yeah.
So that to me is not a talent issue. We know he's got talent. We know he's got the wherewithal. It's more of a focus and concentration thing.
Wow.
And I hope wherever he goes, it's a fresh start for him. Some kids need to change the scenery where you can start. And wherever he goes, I hope he does great, because the kid is super talented. We know that. He played with Jeremiah Smith. We know what he can do.
The JoJo thing is a hot topic issue, and we talked a little bit about that before we came on, because some of the roots that he does have down in Southern Florida, and you and I guess we look at it a little bit different, because this is a performance business. I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you're the hometown kid. It's what you do on the field, and it ain't about so much potential when you're trying to win. It's like, okay, you get on this field, you got to perform. And I mean, it's just that simple, you know. And
you have to. This is go time. You have to perform now. So the kids that left, I'm not upset with them. Go chase what you got to chase, and get what you got. I saw the kids that left.
Oh, that's your son. I think that's on there. I said D-line might be better this year's for sure. This is ETS Junior.
Okay, it is. I'm like, he's right. You know, Eric is right. They just might be better. The O-line might be better. I mean, we lose a lot with CC, but Jackson Cantwell, my goodness, this dude here, as a freshman, he is I think even bigger than CC and stronger than
6'7", 320, something like that.
That boy is he's a big dude, and he's really strong, and he was pancaking people in practice when they let these kids that were coming in practice with the team. So I think with more seasoning, I'm very optimistic about it. I don't expect anything less than the ACC title. I don't know if you've seen the schedule for next year.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
the schedule. The last 4 games are on the road.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's going to be a problem for Miami. They just showed they can go on the road for 5 games straight and win them all.
It's not a problem, because I think the style of play they play now is so much different than before. They built defensively. Defense travels. If you got a great defense, you're going to be able to do what you do. What's up, Kev? Big Kev. Hey, if you're just coming in the building, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, like the comments, and share this content. I'm finna post to the number for the call-in while Eric and I talk.
What was the name of the place we were at for the game?
Reserve.
Got to shout them out again. Got to shout out Reserve MIA. Very nice venue. If you're ever down in Miami, they sell a lot of I don't want to say antique, but old school sports memorabilia gear, Miami Dolphins, old gear, you know.
Right.
Great place, man.
Vintage place. Owner super cool.
Yeah, great hospitality, man. I'm so glad and grateful we got to this place, you know, that we didn't have to go back to a sports bar, because I will say, and I think Dwayne would have concurred with me, you know, a lot of these Indiana fans were very rowdy down there.
Oh, they were something else.
They were I've been around some rowdy fan bases, but my goodness, man, these people came down there in force, and they really tried to take over the city of Miami, and they were rowdy they were, you know, they had a few choice things to say, and I'm grateful for that place we were at, because we got to be around other Hurricane fans versus being surrounded by a bunch of Indiana fans that looking at you, you know.
Yeah. Sideways and stuff like that.
All sideways, and one of them had your wife caught the comment that one guy said after we walked by. It's a good thing we didn't hear what he said.
Right. I'm too old to do what I used to do, but it says I like Beck and everything that he has done for us, but I just can't get this out of my head. All 3 games we lost season with interceptions. Yeah, and that is true.
Yeah, I mean, I saw another video about one of the other fellas, and I gave Beck for the year. I gave him a grade of a B. I gave him a B grade, because, you know, I'm not gonna knock this kid. He been through a lot. That surgery was tough. I just don't think the arm was there like it should have been with the deep ball. And I'm not gonna put that pick on him in the SMU game, because, you know, he was trying to go for Malachi, and
Well,
Things
even the Louisville game, I think what's the name? It was miscommunication
some
somewhere.
miscommunication on that last pick, right? Uh, Lofton ran one way and he threw it thinking he was going to make a cut. And hey, it happens. And we had a great season. We don't hang our heads about anything. Miami hasn't been this good really since 2003, I would say.
Yeah, it's been a while.
04, they were pretty good. The first year in the ACC, they beat Florida State to start the year in overtime when Gore ran that touchdown. They had some good guys on that team too, but Miami hasn't been this good and relevant in 20 plus years. So
yeah,
our fan base, the ones that have any sense, we still got that 10 to 20% that I don't know what it is with them, but
I've been reading some of the comments, and I will say this: some of the comments I can understand them being upset that the game didn't go the way that they go, but
yeah, we all were.
Yeah, but it's just you have to step back and you really have to break it down and understand that. I mean, yes, they made mistakes. This has been the problem with Miami. This is how I knew Miami was a good team. Like my man just said in the chat, every game they lost has been on a interception at the end. And on top of that, they probably had more penalties than anybody. And still, every game they lost by less than a touchdown. So that just tells you kind of what Nick Saban said, kind of what some of the coaches been telling me off the record is that clean game, if they would have just put that clean game together all year long, if they had a clean game all year long, they would be undefeated. I mean, I just no doubt about it because there's nobody that has outplayed Miami for 60 minutes of football this year.
No.
That's crazy.
I would have to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We wanted a clean game. I mean, they played clean against A&M and they played really clean against Ohio State, and then the penalties kind of came back to rear their ugly head in the Ole Miss game. They really played clean in the Ohio State game.
Right.
No false starts in the A&M game. As loud as it is at Kyle Field, they really, really shined in that game with no penalties, no false starts, no pre-snap penalties and whatnot. So, like I said, to finish the season 13-3, what else could you ask for? Most people had us at the best 10-2 and not in the playoff. Maybe 9-3, because everybody was basing their thoughts and decisions off what happened last year with Cam Ward, and so many people were trying to put Beck in the Cam Ward bubble, and I kept saying, forget about Cam Ward. He's a Tennessee Titan now. He did what he did here, and we got to go on to the next. And I'm confident they're going to get the Duke quarterback and the receiver. And that's another reason why JoJo left. He saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
My man's, what's his name, Menza?
Yeah, Menza.
His number one receiver is coming with him to Miami.
Yeah.
So you got him, Malachi, and you're going to have somebody else at the next spot, at the other receiver spot. And Joshua, what's his name, the other receiver?
Josh Moore.
He's got so much upside to be 200, 6'4", 215,
got
220.
hands.
The only knock on it, because the talent is there. The guy can jump through the ceiling. He's a basketball player too.
Right.
From what other folks have been saying, all he needs to work on is his route running, getting more crisp with his route running, because the talent is there. The guy's got the speed. He can out-jump most people. He could be that Jeremiah Smith type guy, the tall 6'4", outside, deep threat, possession type receiver. He has to just work on his route running and his blocking. But that's why he wasn't really out there. But it's there.
And a lot of people don't understand sometimes when these guys enter the portal, sometimes it's not them. Sometimes it's the talk from the coaches like, hey,
the coach will tell you.
And you know what? You got to respect that. Some of this stuff behind the scenes, we just don't know. But yeah, it's just like some of that stuff you just got to understand that the coach is telling some of these guys, not all, that, hey, it's going to be tough to get on the field. And that brings us up to what we were talking about before with Luke going in on Kevin Beard so hard. And I seen his apologies to the mother, or I read the apologies that he gave to the mother. But the Kevin Beard situation is interesting with the Uncle Luke dynamic, because I'm trying to understand. I know he's trying to support his kids and everything and stuff, but it's still a way to do it without trying to throw Kevin Beard under the bus. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not mad at Luke. I think some of the things he should have refrained from saying. I know he's upset about Ray Joseph.
Yeah.
But you can't account for Malachi Tony.
Right.
As good as Ray was, Malachi was that much better. And I seen the loop where he was going off, and Kevin Beard didn't develop Malachi. His daddy did. That's true.
Yeah.
His father did do all that from a young age. His father did that. But he upset with Cristobal and Beard about Ray not getting more time. And
nature of the beast.
Ray wasn't going to really see the field with Restrepo last year.
Right.
That's his position. And now you got Malachi coming in. Malachi pretty much took the punt duties away from Ray. Ray was returning punts last year. And he didn't exactly do anything lights out with the punt. And I'm not taking nothing away from him as a player.
Right.
We are at a time in college football now where certain positions, with the NIL money and the investments being made with paying guys, I don't have time to wait on you to get developed.
Right.
There are guys that are already ready to go, seasoned and ready to go now and produce now. If I'm going to give you a meal or 2 meals in a package, I need you to produce.
Right.
JoJo was not producing. When he got his chances, he was 50% at best. Okay?
Right.
So if I can go out here and get the number 2 quarterback in the country in yardage thrown from Duke, and his number 1 receiver, who ain't shabby at all, decides to go in the, and he's going to come here with him, that's a 2-for-1. I'm like, hey, man, why do I want to wait to see if you're going to get your act together and pay you NIL money when I got a guy coming in that's going to be an immediate starter?
Right.
I can, I can develop my linemen. I'll develop my linemen on both sides of the ball. But my position players, if you're not going to come in and put in the work, I mean, Malachi pretty much showed you. He stayed at the practice facility. He slept there. He was coming in working. He was staying late every day. And that goes in all aspects of life. Whatever you're doing in life, if you're willing to put in the extra work to be better at your craft, it's going to pay off for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I got this NIL money, I'm not going to sit around and wait to see if I'm going to develop you. If you that dude coming in the door, you that guy.
Yeah.
Malachi came in the door. In spring practice, he showed everybody.
Hey, what I say, when the coaches started saying, hey, he's special in spring ball, you kind of knew that, they wasn't tipping their hand, but you kind of knew, hey, it was going to be some shakeup. Now, you can't control, or Uncle Luke can't control what actually happens, on the field.
I see his loyalty. He loyal to the Florida guys. He loyal to the Dade County guys.
I get it.
But you know what? If I got a Marion and a CJ Daniel coming in, and they already and Marion played great this year. Nobody expected Marion to do what he did. He showed his butt all through the playoffs, especially in the Ole Miss game.
Right.
If there was a time for somebody to break out and shine, is when CJ was hurt. Remember, CJ was hurt a couple games.
Yeah.
That was JoJo's time to come in and do something. He didn't. He didn't. Joshua Moore made a few catches, but like I said, if you guys are going to stick around and develop, that's who Kevin Beard is going to develop. So if I got to choose JoJo and Joshua Moore, I'm taking more because JoJo can go somewhere else and refine skills.
Even to his point of, yes, he was correct by saying, yeah, okay, his parents did develop Malachi, but almost every young athlete that's coming to, that daddy played in the league or is getting developed by their parents, if their parents are, you know. So I mean, to me, I mean, that's neither here or there. You know, he a freshman starting, so you know he had to be well trained. You know,
man, look,
so,
what any of us would do that with our sons if we really want. When Eric was playing football in junior high, 9th grade, I knew he didn't have the size to play on the line like he wanted to on defense. I seen him get pushed around by some bigger kids in 8th grade, and I said, okay, unless he really bulk up and get bigger, and he ain't, that ain't his, he's more of a safety cornerback, was he's fast. But I said, man, try kicking.
Right.
I said, man, they need field goal kickers.
Right. Hey, ain't nothing funny about it. Yeah, they need them.
Kick that ball, boy. I said, go out there and kick the ball and see how, if you can do something with that. I said, yeah, if you get that going, I'll work with you on that. I said, man, you never know. Well, he didn't do it, of course, but I said, man, but going to say that is any father, if his son is doing something, whether it's football, basketball, tennis, swimming, whatever, you're gonna pull him, and you're gonna, and with Malachi Daddy being a star in college, I think it was at West Virginia, and he played for the Redskins in the NFL.
Right.
His daddy was the same type of player as he is, and he had him out there since JFL. You know, 5, 6, 7-year-old. By the time the boy was 8 years old, he throwing passes.
Right.
We knew
and in no way, I'm saying that.
4th grade.
And I'm not saying that Uncle Luke don't have the right to criticize, because we all criticize. It's just,
of course,
you know, my thing, I just like, you know, it's not, you making it personal with Kevin Beard. That's what I'm thinking. That I was kind of like, you know, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Dorsett jumped in and was like, look, man, there's a reason why Al Golden didn't want him around the program.
Yeah.
I thought, wow. Philip Dorsett, you know, Philip Dorsett ain't no slouch.
Right.
Number 4 caught a lot of passes from Forrest. Okay. A lot of deep shots. Philip, you know, and for him to come out and say it's a reason why Al Golden kept Luke away from the program because he was toxic. That says a lot, man. So I mean, I think Luke going to step back and reevaluate some things because he don't want to burn a lot of bridges and rub people the wrong way. You know, you going after Kevin Beard. Kevin Beard was on that 01 team.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of the people that, you know, are infamous with this program and infamous with that national championship team, he being one of them. Hey, I think Luke need to just tone it down, man, and he can give his opinion. I'm glad he apologized to the kid's mother because she wasn't too happy with him.
Right.
About the whole situation, about why he left, and he should, you know, why he went to Syracuse, and he thought Kevin Beard didn't recruit him good enough, and all this other kind of stuff, and he mentioned the boy mama, and it ticked her off, man, and rightfully so. So with that whole situation, and I think Luke need to just dial it back and let it go. You know, Ray didn't work like you thought he should have worked out, and hopefully wherever he ends up going and wherever JoJo go, they work out as a change of scenery, and they have great seasons and careers or wherever they go. Nobody wishes the worst for these kids. It's just
and I think sometimes
I was gonna say Miami right now, Dwayne, they are in the conversation. There is no more, well, could they be in the hunt? They are in the conversation for a national now. They are in the talk. And Mario don't have time to wait around to see who's gonna get developed. We have to reload
every year.
And that's
and you know, the funny part that I think about this and more, it's kind of like he's kind of like a parent, you know, and I think sometimes loyalty gets kind of confused because, you know, I heard the statement like, well, he's always wanted to go to Miami since he was a kid. And a lot of kids want to go to several universities. I'm pretty sure kids coming up in Alabama always want to go to Bama or whatever. Or sometimes it just doesn't work out. You know,
Clemson, Georgia, everybody got kids that want to go there. It's just, it's not going to always work out. and you can't blame the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Money is
De
at play.
facto.
I think the developing thing is somewhat a thing of the past now.
Yeah.
These schools, with this money being dished out and with the transfer portal, you as a coach, if you're trying to be relevant and win, you're not going to have time. This is what hurt Dabo with Clemson.
Right. I see
He
Dabo
didn't
hopped
want to
in at
go in
this
the
time.
portal. He didn't want to go in the portal. He wanted to develop his guys. And yeah, pre-portal, you can get high school dudes. And after
Right.
a year or two of being fairly decent, you can get these guys worked up to be okay in elite status to where now you're really a competitor.
Right.
Mario don't have time to sit around another year or two to let guys get developed to try to make another run. They
Right.
want to make another run next season. They're already getting disrespected with these way too early polls, and fine. They're putting teams ahead of them. I think they got Miami ranked 11th or 13th or something.
Oh, I didn't see the rankings yet.
Oh,
I
I've
haven't
seen
seen them yet.
CBS ranking. I've seen everybody's ranking,
Well,
and it's
I think they're
fine.
low because they don't know the quarterback. I think once that quarterback
They don't know the
gets
quarterback
situated,
situation.
yeah, I think it'll be much higher. Since
Yeah, once
yeah,
the kid from when Duke gets here, because the portal closes today. It closes
right,
today, and they got 48 hours till Monday to get everybody signed up. So it closes for Indiana and Miami because they played the championship game
right.
today.
But I did
So
read or hear that they moved up the trial date for Menza, and they
February
put
2nd.
that. Yeah, they moved it up from that, didn't they? Because it was February 2nd, right?
It's a hearing. They may have moved the hearing up. So
Yeah, they moved it up from what I heard. I think I was listening to somebody. It says, yep, nowadays the best players will play. No more waiting on guys to develop. That was from Double B there. Yeah,
that's
and that's
true.
what we're talking about. Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
contract, you got NIL money to spend, and you got the transfer portal. I'm not going to sit around and wait a year or two for a kid to develop to see the potential. If the kid wants to stay and compete, that's the problem. That's the one drawback now. Kids don't want to compete. They want to
Yeah.
play. People were pissed off that Pringle jumped in the portal. Pringle's got a great family. Nobody's mad at their family or him. We understand the kid wants to play.
Right.
He
But
wasn't
Pringle came
used to
back,
play.
right?
But you see, he came back because
Yeah.
other teams offered him. It wasn't a leverage move.
Right.
Other
But people even
schools
forget
offered
about Pringle. Pringle was on the practice squad and worked his way off the practice squad
him.
and then got burned. So,
He sure did.
you know,
He's got to work on some stuff. Mainly his pass blocking. You got
yeah.
to be able to. I've seen him. We've seen him getting blowed up on blitzes, man. You're
Yeah.
5'9" and it's 6'3", 4 defensive back. Safeties coming with a blitz. Linebackers coming with a blitz. He's gonna blow you up unless you get low. He's gonna blow you up. You're only 5'9". You're not that big. So
somebody put.
I can't have you out there on those type of situations unless I'm running a screen or something where you're getting the ball. I can't rely on you to protect the quarterback when I got a 6'2", 6'3" safety coming in to blitz.
Right. Somebody put Miami is 13th in the way too early poll, and Alabama is number 5. Make it make sense.
It doesn't.
Like, yeah.
I saw the CBS poll. They got Notre Dame at 5. I'm like, they are kissing Notre Dame's ass now that they changed the rule with the playoff. Pretty much guaranteeing them a spot because if they finish the season inside the top 12, they're going to be guaranteed a playoff spot.
Yeah, and we knew that a month or so ago. They changed that.
Schedule?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's pathetic. Outside,
I think we the
Navy,
toughest game they play.
Miami, Navy, and BYU.
Shit, you gonna say Navy?
Navy? No, because
Navy okay.
Navy was they played Navy before they played Miami.
Navy was
okay. What Navy 9-3 or 10-2?
They okay.
They're the only
they
three
got the
teams.
athletes.
They're the only 3 teams with double-digit wins on their schedule. Everybody else they play the weakest ACC teams again. And their first 5 games are gimmies. Then they play Navy, and then November 7th they play Miami.
Right.
So they're going to go 5-0 unless they slip. But to have them at rank 5 and you lost your number 1 player because the running backs, what's his name, Jeremiah Love's going in the league.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, yeah, CJ Carr's coming back at quarterback. Who's your receivers? It's just they're gonna kiss Notre Dame's ass because they feel bad about what happened to them in this playoff being left out. So anyway,
Well,
it
like I
is what
said,
it
we knew
is.
about that about a month ago. It's just kind of now coming to light where a lot of people kind of hearing about it, but us that's been tapped in, we already knew that it didn't make sense when they announced this right after the playoff, when they didn't get in, that it was changed, and I think they tried to bend the rules for Notre Dame. That's just, but you know, I don't know. Say Notre Dame is better come ready against SMU. They also got SMU. Yeah, last year had those guys ready to play. I don't know if they
Did they have
physical enough.
you?
Say that again.
Oh, okay. I thought it was us, Navy, and maybe it is SMU and not BYU. I thought they played BYU
Oh,
the last
SMU,
game.
not B. I don't know. Let's see.
They play SMU I think they played BYU the last game of the year at BYU. So we'll see about. But they've been. I don't even argue with Notre Dame fans. I ain't gonna waste my time. They got a cake schedule. Miami don't have a cake schedule. They got some good teams. They got to play at Notre Dame, at Clemson, at Wake Forest. The last 4 games on the road. Yeah, they got North Carolina. They don't have to play SMU here. They got Virginia Tech. They don't play Louisville. When I look at the schedule, they got a chance.
SMU. Yeah, they do play SMU. They play, so they go at Miami. I mean, at Navy, Miami, Boston College, SMU, and then at Syracuse.
So they're playing 4 teams that have winning records. 4 out of 12.
Yeah.
The other 8 teams are just.
And they got to go to BYU. So yeah, the BYU game would be interesting too. Yeah.
At the end of the year, the last game of the season.
No,
and
they play
BYU might
early in the season. 10-17. Yeah, 10-17. They play them before, and then they got a bye week. And then they go to Navy. No, the last game is at Syracuse, 11-28-26. So
that's they're gonna kill Syracuse again.
Hey, that's a tune up before the playoffs, I guess. But you never know, like I say.
Pull up our schedule. Do we play Syracuse? I know we don't play Louisville. Clemson is not that good. I wouldn't take them lightly, but they're not that good. They're not the Clemson of old.
Right.
I know we got Florida A&M at home, and then I think we play Central Michigan at home.
It's gonna be here. We
got Florida State at home. I know we play North Carolina this year.
So okay, Florida A&M, Central Michigan, Notre Dame, Clemson to be announced, Boston College to be announced, Duke to be announced, Florida State, Pitt, Virginia, North Carolina, Stanford, and Wake Forest.
Pitt and Virginia? Oh, wow.
Pitt and Virginia Tech. Pitt and Virginia Tech. Yeah.
Those will be both home games.
So Pitt, yep.
They don't play SMU. They don't play Virginia. They got to play at Wake. The last 4 are at Wake.
Yep. So they play, Florida A&M at home, Central Michigan at home. Then they go to Notre Dame. Then they go to Clemson.
Well, Notre Dame is November 7th. That game is November 7th. So they're gonna play 3 or 4 games before they. I want to say 4 games, maybe even 5 before they go to South.
They don't have them in order here. They just have them who they playing and where they playing at. Where I'm looking at right here.
They just have they just have 3 dates locked in. The first 2 in Notre Dame are locked in dates.
Right.
I think they're at North Carolina. and I'm sure Pitt's at home, and Virginia Tech is a home game because they played them away this year or last year. I know
Yeah.
they're at Wake Forest. The last 4 games are on the road. I
Right.
saw that, and Wake is one of them. Boston College might be one of them. They're
Yeah.
not
So,
easy games. They're winnable games.
right. It's going to
They
be
need
interesting.
they need to leave no doubt this year. They don't need to be sitting around on Selection Sunday wondering about, are we going to get in. They need to go out here and run the table and go undefeated and go win the ACC title game and get that first week bye and leave no doubt, be somewhere ranked in the top 4, get the bye week, and go from there. I really think this team next year can get right back to that title game.
Yeah, I
Who
think they
it's
learned a
against, who knows?
lot from this year. It really depends on Menza, which I think Menza is a way different quarterback than Beck.
He's a way different quarterback. He's got a stronger arm and he's got wheels. He can run. I mean,
Yeah,
if
a
you
little
look at
bit
his
more
stats,
mobile.
he's
Yeah,
he's got some. He was the number 2 passer behind Mendoza in the country in yardage.
yeah,
And for that receiver to come with him, and you got weapons and you got a defense which you didn't have at Duke.
right.
That's why
A
Duke is
better running
right now.
game, better defense. I think
And
it's
you
going to
got
be
Malachi.
something special.
I think this next year can be even better.
Yeah,
Even better than this year. Even better than this year. I really believe that. So I just think the fan base should be really looking forward to this and be optimistic. Because if this Menza kid it's almost like it's assuring that he's coming to Miami. And the
yeah,
receivers coming.
yeah, because they
Okay.
got a lot of things going against them trying to keep him at Duke because you're trying to say that he's not a pay for play. You're trying to say that he's not an
Oh,
employee,
him.
but you
Where did they
know,
steal him from? Duke
huh?
got him from.
Right,
Where did he come from? Look, the
right.
bigger fish got the smaller fish. And now Miami's the bigger fish over Duke and got them. That's the way
Uh,
college football is.
the answer to your question, Double B, yeah, he will, because from what I'm hearing, is that they will be able to give him a special exemption, the
Yep.
university president. But that's why they petitioned to get it moved up. So I think that was granted, and they moved it up. So we should be hearing something real soon. And if he does get granted, then I'm pretty sure the dean of the college will let him enroll, give him a special admissions waiver so he can enroll. So I don't think that's going to be a problem at all.
I don't think it's going to be a problem either.
So yeah, I just think
so.
that. So yeah, I don't think that will be anything. I think once they get him in camp, the thing is to get him in camp so he can start working with the receivers and build that continuity with the receivers, because he's working with different type of receivers than he had at Duke. Arguably, more skilled receivers. So, and plus got a better running game, and he's got to get used to Shannon Dawson, and Dawson has to get used to him. What type of quarterback he is, because now you're going from Cam to Beck to Menza, and all 3 of them are different. So that's something that they got to figure out too, to figure out what he really likes and things of that nature. So that's going to be a real interesting dynamic, and hopefully they can figure that out soon. That's like in spring ball, you get these guys on the same page.
Well, that's the key. You get all these guys signed up. You got them all for the spring.
Right.
Beck couldn't participate in the spring.
Right.
This guy in, everybody's there in the spring. You get your continuity, you get your familiarity. Everybody's locked in. You got 2 weeks of spring practice, then you have your spring game.
Right. And just think of what you just said.
It gives Luke nickel, and it gives that Darion Coleman who's coming in, because they say this dude is supposed to be like another Vic / Lamar type dude. Randall
Yeah, got to put on a little weight though. He a little frail, but he got to put on a little bit of weight. But yeah, they say he the truth. So I'm excited to see what he brings.
He a guy at quarterback.
Yeah. So, but just think about what you just said. You said Beck didn't even play spring ball and
Didn't play.
still they almost ran the table. You know, that's the crazy part of how good this team was. You know, you had somebody coming off an injury that missed all this time, you know, and had to build continuity, a new system, a new everything, and they still almost, you know, ran the table.
Ran the
And that's
table.
crazy.
I mean, so that's why I said folks should not be upset. This is a good deal, man. I mean,
Right.
like I said, I was not mad because we lost the game. I think like most fans that were sensible, I was more disappointed than anything because I felt like we gave that game away.
Right.
They didn't beat Indiana did not beat Miami. Miami lost the game after what Indiana was doing to everybody else, and everybody swearing up and down that they were going to just destroy Miami by 2 or 3 touchdowns, and this is going to be a blowout. And your high-powered team only can get 20.
Yeah.
And the nerve of some of these Indiana fans out here crying, they're still crying, talking about they cheated for Miami, and Miami got away with a lot of old.
You know what, E? That you say that, and I'm just going to stop you right there, and I'm so glad you brought this up. I really was disappointed with Signetti halftime comments because he basically said that they were out there cheating and being, what's the word I want to use? What he talking about, all the unsportsmanlike penalties. So they basically just out there. I just didn't like that, you know, one bit. You know,
no, I didn't like it either. Come on, man, coach your team and stop crying. You're basically crying. Coach your team. You're up 10-0. You're up 10-0. And coach your team and stop crying. That's my thing. You're up 10-0.
Saying that these guys basically like out here just being unsportsmanlike, like they out here cheating and doing all this stuff, but they playing hard between the whistles.
He got hit. Okay. I love it. It's football. We're used to playing football.
Right.
All this because he bled in the mouth and all this other. So what? He got popped.
Right.
That's the game. You think we're gonna just let him sit back there and do what he did to everybody else? No.
Right. Right.
You're gonna win this game. You got to come out here and earn it, man. And I give Mendoza credit when he ran that touchdown on 4th down. I thought, okay. I give him as a coach credit that he was coaching to win. He wasn't coaching just to kick a field goal because he knew, hey man, it's the same thing they always said about Miami. If you let another team hang around too much, and he knew he didn't want to let Miami hang around. On top of the fact that he couldn't muster much offense going, all that back shoulder hit, except for O'Connor at corner.
Yeah.
Everything else, Miami kept in check. And he didn't want to get his quarterback killed back there because Bain and Mesidor were getting to him.
Yeah, they was coming.
They was coming, and they were popping his ass. And he knew. So, like I said, it was a great game. If you wanted a great football game, you got it. You didn't get a blowout like Georgia TCU 3 years ago.
Right.
Or Alabama Notre Dame back in 11 or 20, whatever year that was, when they blew out. Nobody wants to see that.
And I just think that a lot of people, they bought into the media narrative and thought that Indiana was this juggernaut, and they just wasn't. Even though Miami lost it, I'd say this all the time, is that I had so many people walk up, man, y'all made this a good game. I said, I expected it to be a good game.
Right.
Y'all the ones hadn't watched Miami play all year and didn't know. That's the thing I try to tell people. It's like, what are y'all watching?
Yeah, what was you? Did you think Miami was just going to come out there and give it their best and okay, we'll see what happens?
Right.
They wasn't that type of team. They came out there to win.
Yeah.
They've made a few more mistakes. Indiana made a few more plays. I'll give them that. But they weren't just out there just to be there. Just we're here now. We're just here.
Right.
I'm with you. I think they learned a lot. I think next year,
they're
gonna take that with everything they have, and you put these other few pieces of the team that are coming, and with the spring ball,
if they could be a little bit more explosive on offense,
and I think they will get that with this quarterback because
with the defense, yes.
I watched his highlights, man. He's mobile. He can throw on the run. He don't sit there, and dude is nice.
Yeah.
You put him on now. You take him and put him on Miami. You put him with Oregon because I don't think Oregon quarterback is all that. That's why he coming back.
Dante Moore,
I think Dante Moore is all that. You take Duke's quarterback and put him with. You got to remember now, if he would have been in the portal just as early as Levitt and your boy from Cincinnati, he would have been picked up already.
Yeah.
He jumped in the portal late.
Right.
After them guys got picked up, I said, if this kid would have came out early, somebody else would have got him, or they would have been fighting to get him.
Right.
Because his numbers are stupid. He was number 2 in passing behind Mendoza.
Yeah.
He had 34 touchdowns and like 6 interceptions or something, and he had over 4,000 yards passing. I'm like, damn. And you know, Duke went 7-5.
Yeah.
They won the ACC. Virginia wasn't no chumps. They only had what, one or two losses. They were favored to win the game.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, they did Miami a favor by winning the game, because if Virginia would have won the game, Virginia would have made the playoff and Miami wouldn't have.
Right. And that's the crazy part, is that when you sit back and you think back of this total season, and I always go back and say, I know a lot of people upset, but you got to always find the silver lining. This team overall was better than last year's team.
Oh, yeah.
So
overall
better. That's the caveat. And you just saw it on the field, you know, and hopefully next year they a little bit more disciplined, because that's the thing that really hampered them. A little bit more disciplined, a little bit more explosive. They are right there. They built it up. They came back strong in the trenches again. They recruiting well. They getting little pieces in the NIL in the portal to try to cover up things and complement things. And so when you see that going on, as a fan, you should be really, really happy of the direction of the program. And I don't say that just because, you know, we talk to people inside the program or anything like that. Eric and I really say that because we really watched them and we've seen the growth of the program, you know, and where it's going and the trajectory. Do they deserve to be criticized? Yes. Is nobody harder on the OC, Shannon Dawson, and us?
I'm going to say for the record, I like Shannon Dawson.
Yeah.
I like Shannon Dawson. With the right quarterback, his offense is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was nice under Cam Ward, but the defense was crap.
Right.
Well, this year's the opposite. The defense was one of the best in the country, and the offense was, I give our offense a B.
Yeah.
Right along with
They were good, but not explosive.
Jay Daniels looked really good in the first half of the season, and Marion picked it up in the second half of the season. And the way the offensive line blocked and protected, you get this kid from Duke in there with that arm and that receiver to complement what you got. This might be they can put both the defense and the offense together, and they got 2 kickers that are potentially coming in.
Yeah, they got to shore that up. So, I mean, he wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad. I'm not gonna knock that kid. He wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad, but
you know, I just, like I said, that's another part of the game I question.
Yeah, we were so spoiled for years.
4th and 2 with 30-some seconds left in the first half, and you opt to kick a field goal. That's the one where I knock Mario. I'm going for that. 4th and 2 with my running backs, I'm going for that.
Yeah.
Normally I go for that. Because you notice when they missed the field goal, what did Indiana do? They went right back into attack mode, even though they didn't get nowhere with it, and we went to halftime.
I think the biggest reason why he didn't, well, my personal opinion, is that they were so stagnant because they only ran like 14 or whatever plays that they really wasn't moving the ball, and he was thinking to himself like, we got to try to get some points. That's because to him, I'm thinking in Mario's mind, it's like points are at a premium. Our defense is playing well. If we can get 3, if we can get this 3, then we basically back in the game, you know. So I think that was his thinking. I know a lot of people think he should have went for it, but I'm not even disagreeing that he shouldn't have went for it. but I thinking that's what he thought. Like we needed to get some points, but again, kicker let us down. So that's it, and that's crazy. We just think about that, but we got what's up, man? What's up, Orange and Green? We didn't put up here. He says proud of our guys, very proud Warriors, never give up attitude. Had some fight in them. Love all them guys. Go Canes. Hey, we've been saying that, man. Hey, look, when I seen the Canes come out in that second half and play the way that they played, I'm telling you, man, I was proud of them boys, man.
Oh wow.
I wish I wish I could know that halftime speech that was given or who gave the speech or whatever. I wish I could know because they came out in the second half.
All I know is you're right. They come out in that second half, and man, they got to stop. They stopped Indiana. You know, Indiana could have. People was already thinking, they got the ball. They started the second half with the ball. They could really make it 17-0 and really knock Miami out the box. That's what everybody was saying and hoping for. And for Miami to go out there and stop it and get the ball back, and then Fletcher got that nice run because they made the adjustments.
Right.
And they made the adjustment.
I got you. I'll turn your camera back on in a second.
Oh no, I got this fire going.
Okay.
I had to flip the log. But they made the adjustment and the zone running, and now it's 10-7.
Right.
It's 10-7.
All right, Double B puts up here. He says he was highly upset with Shannon Dawson at first because really all season long the offense is just too slow and a little boring. But I get it from continuously that he makes sense to bring him back. That's interesting. He wasn't slow in the Notre Dame game.
A lot of it has to do with Beck's arm. They knew that he wasn't Cam. He's not. He didn't even have the arm strength of Tyler Van Dyke.
Right. True.
He didn't have a Stephen Morris or Brad Kaya deep ball. They knew this. They had to work within the confines of Beck's abilities. Beck is a great short to medium range type passer. Okay, he's not going to give you the 40, 50-yard bomb you're looking for. And they knew this. You saw Dawson's offense when he had a quarterback.
Yeah. Just stretch the field.
Van Dyke's first year when he came in, everybody was Tyler Van Dymes. Remember, they beat Texas A&M. He was putting up stupid numbers. They went out to Pitt. They beat Pitt. I think that was Arroyo's freshman year at tight end. I mean, I know Van Dyke regressed later, but he put up big numbers. You saw what Cam did. The offense is there. It's just you got to have the right pieces. And I'm not saying Carson was the wrong piece. They just had to adjust to his ability, skill set.
I'm going to say Carson was the right piece for the system, for this team this year. Let your defense keep you in the game, keep you close, and you don't make a lot of mistakes. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
So I'm not going to knock I hope Carson gets drafted, and I hope he gets to play in the NFL. I figure he'll get picked up in the 3rd or 4th round by somebody. They got it
a little later than that, but I don't know.
It may be, but they got him projected as the 7th overall quarterback to get picked.
Yeah, that sounds like the 5th round.
Listen, a lot of guys were average or a little above average in college and blow up in the pros.
Oh, true.
And some guys are lights out in college and they get to the pros and they turn out to be a bust.
Right.
So
what round y'all think he's going to go with? Carson Beck, put it in the chat. Let us know. What's y'all personal opinion? What round y'all think? Now, I'm with you on that. I think that Carson Beck, once he strengthens that arm up, he does it, and he's more of a system-type quarterback, which is nothing wrong with that. So that's actually a good thing when you're in the league. So, I think he'll be all right.
I mean,
in all honesty.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Trent Dilfer, but when he left Tampa Bay and got to Baltimore, he didn't have to do much.
No.
That defense.
No, if you got a good defense.
He won a Super Bowl. Trent Bum Dilfer.
It was a great season, some highs and some lows, exciting last few games. They were great last few games.
Look, man, these dudes won the Cotton Bowl. They won
Yes.
the Fiesta Bowl. They went to Texas A&M and beat them at their field when everybody said they're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
You go, it's the loudest place to play. It's obnoxious and blah, blah, blah. And then for our fans to come back and say, hey, man, the Texas A&M people were really nice. They were really, really good people down there. They weren't buttholes. They treated the Miami people really well. And, of course, they were loud as hell. When they were still in the Big 12 with Missouri, it was a tough place for Mizzou to play.
Right. Yeah.
It was a tough place for anybody to play.
Yeah, it's truly a tough place.
A&M ain't never had a bad program. I mean, shit. I remember going to watch them here in the Big 12 championship game against Michael Bishop and K-State. Kansas State was favored to go to the Natty that year in '98, and A&M won that game.
Yeah.
So they've always had a solid football program. They were just trying to go head to head with Texas.
Yeah. They was only favored in one game throughout the playoffs, and shit, they out. So they was. That's just crazy even thinking about. They was only favored one game, and that was against Ole Miss. So,
and I was shocked on that. I didn't think they would be favored on Ole Miss.
I didn't either.
Being a SEC team and all that.
Well, and they bought into a lot of the stuff that we kept saying about Chambliss too. They was like, "Oh, you ain't seen nothing about this," and I'm thinking, like, man, they did face running quarterbacks all year.
He nice too. He nice. He didn't.
Yeah.
So he gonna be in the draft.
Yeah. Well, I just read today that he might come back. That they might grant him to come back.
But if I heard they denied his waiver, so unless something changes.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody put it in the chat if y'all know, because I thought I read some, but I'm not sure. And that's going to be all messed up anyway, because they losing so much talent at Ole Miss going to LSU. So, I mean, he won't even have the same team he had last year. I know he'll have the back.
And you know what? LSU won't win nothing.
You ain't high on Lane Kiffin?
Like LSU, they not going to win shit. They not going to win nothing.
Oh, man.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Yeah,
I guess I can't blame Lane. I guess I can't say Lane leaving Ole Miss or not, but LSU name carry more weight than Mississippi name. So
well, true. And this one kind of ticks me off with the whole Mensa thing, because Kiffin leaves middle of the season, bought out, or whatever the situation, no repercussions or anything. And then you got athletes that's trying to leave, and you're trying to say, oh, and I know that people are going to come in here and maybe get in this comment and say, oh, well, he signed a contract. But my thing of it is, it's a contract for the NIL rights. That is not a contract to the school. It's two separate things going on.
You're not an employee of the school.
Right. So it's two separate things. So you could be bought out of your NIL rights, because that's just your ability to make money. So that's where I think a lot of people kind of missed the boat on that argument. Instead, they say, oh, he signed a contract, so he's obligated to the school. No, he's obligated to the NIL deal that pays him to make money. So theoretically, you should be able to, hey, look, pay him out for his NIL and let the man just go on and leave. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So it says this was the
football till they change things around.
Right. It says this was the first season in a long time that I felt we had a legitimately could beat anyone. All these guys became superstars by playing as a team, having faith in each other, and having fun with it. Hey, I agree with you. I totally agree with you, because you could tell as a team, when they start saying we don't do a lot of talking, that's code word for we're going to show your ass on the field. That's that code word for we don't do a lot of talking. Like we ain't finna do all this rah stuff.
And you know what? Shouts out to them, because they weren't a cocky team. They didn't run their mouth a lot.
No.
They didn't.
No. Nope.
Really did not. They didn't do a bunch of braggadocious and running their mouth.
Right.
Like other teams did.
Right.
They didn't do
They
all
were
that.
truly locked in, and that's the great part about this team. I think a lot of people enjoyed about this team. I think some people of the older generation wanted to kind of see some of the antics and stuff, but they were truly locked in, and Mario had those guys locked in. And you know me, I'm a big fan of Mario. You know, and I think he take a lot of heat for things that came in the past, but that's learning experience. You know, he learned a lot from year 1 to year 4, you know. But one thing you can't knock is his ability to motivate. And you could tell as physical as this team played in the trenches on both sides of the ball, you could tell that was his DNA and his mark that he put on the team.
Absolutely.
And you just can't knock that. You just don't get teams, and you don't get that kind of respect around college football that several teams, even after the Indiana game, it was a tweet that one of their linemen said how physical that defense was. That was the best defensive line they played all year. You know, those guys get after you.
They showed them after the game, dapping each other up. They knew.
Yeah.
Indiana knew. They was like, these boys better than Ohio State. These boys better than anybody we played. Oregon was easy. They pushed Oregon around.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. They knew that these guys, hey, look, in the trenches, it was nobody that was touching these boys. They were just built different mentally. And that's the if we're gonna give Mario criticism, you got to give him credit for when he does do stuff right and how he does get his guys to play. So that's the thing that I always try to tell people. And when you look at this team, and hopefully next year, like you said, they're locked and loaded. Some of these guys to sit behind some of these guys and got a little bit of reps, and they know what it takes now. Look, you know what it takes to get on the field for Mario now. So it ain't no more bitching. You know if you come here, what you got to do to get on the field.
That's right.
So as a fan, and we sitting back and we questioning why somebody's not on the field, you could kind of read between the lines and know why he's not getting on the field. You know, so you got to be able to play hard. You got to be able to block. You got to be able to do the little things to get you on the field. You know, so, and if you're not doing that, you're not going to get on the field for them. And we should want that. We shouldn't want anything less as fans.
We don't have time for. We don't have time. Like I said, we don't have time to be developing.
No,
there's no time for that. We are now in the conversation as a fan base, as a program. We do not have to wait around now to see if we're relevant.
Right.
Miami is relevant. They are in the conversation. They're going to stay in the conversation. Mario's going to year 5 of a 10-year contract. I'm pretty sure he's wondering how many can I get in the next 6 years.
Right.
You know, they said somebody was interested in him as a coach. Who was it? Was it Pittsburgh? Dallas was interested in Heatherman as their defensive coordinator. They already want to break Miami up. Already.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh, I think the Steelers were expressing interest in Mario Cristobal. And I'm like, he ain't leaving Miami to go pro.
Nah.
You know, he ain't leaving. He ain't, you know, if he ain't doing it, somebody gonna always try to come along and take something from Miami or keep Miami from going the next step. I just think next year they go the next step. I think this is the next year is the year that they, you know, barring any injuries or any buffoonery and foolishness, they can really lock it in.
Now, do you agree with this? It says the team as a whole needs to treat the regular season with the same attitude and focus as the playoff. All year long is the playoffs. I think Bain and Mesidor actually did. I just think they had some mental lapses. So, yeah, I agree with that. They got to come locked in every game. You can't give games away. And I agree with that. You can't, you know, you can't give that game away against Louisville, you know. So, yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
I was there. For some reason, I was at that game, and the body language was just. I saw in the pregame. I said that someone right, something didn't lay right with a lot of them guys, and that's why they started slow.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing next year, not starting slow. And I think with Menza at quarterback and this other receiver coming in with Malachi and the running game, Miami can go and be more aggressive and attack in the first half and not have to wait until the third quarter to make adjustments to respond or, okay, let's get it together. Because they started slow. They started 14-0 out against Louisville.
Right.
They started slow against Stanford and then turned it on. They started slow against A&M, it was very windy that day for both teams. They started slow against everybody, Ohio State, even Ole Miss. That's the one thing about Mr. Dawson's offense that they're going to have to make some type of adjustments with over the spring is how to start out aggressive, fast, and dominant on the offensive side of the ball and get points on the board and attack. Right. Attack teams right away.
I think what they got to figure out, because it kind of makes the point of kind of what happened last season. I think early in the year, they started off fast. Teams started getting more film on them, and it slowed them down. And it took a little bit of time for Dawson to.
That's a fair assessment.
You know what I'm saying? It took a while for Dawson to get. So he has to figure out, even from last year to this year, once this film get out on you by week 5, how do you sustain what you was doing earlier in the season, starting off fast against Notre Dame, starting off fast, those early games, how do you sustain that? Because teams get film on you, so they're going to start taking away stuff, and it's taking them a half to figure out what he should have figured out in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should know they're going to take away certain things from you. So that's the thing is it tells me that's how you know you're good, when teams start poaching your coaching staff. True.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. Hey, and Mario, I've seen those rumors. I don't know the validity of those. And but hey, it's always some little slither of truth to a rumor. So I think he's happy though.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I think happy.
He's happy right here. He knows he's right there, and he's only a few positions, a few moves away from really winning this thing. Right. And he realizes that the defense is there. It's there. The defense is there for sure. So with the defense being there, it's just a matter of making the adjustments from this past season, looking and seeing what you got to do. Be aggressive. Clean up the penalties. That
hey,
sort
do you
of
agree
thing.
with this statement right here?
Man,
you agree with this, E? This is interesting. I'm going to read it to you. It says, Miami will drive hard with Menza at quarterback, more open, but we must abandon the big boy football, 44 points a game. He think they should average next year.
If you could put up 44 points a game with the defense I think they're bringing back, then go ahead. Hey, go ahead. If you can bring back what you got and put up them kind of points every game, I believe in the old adage, man. Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. I want my defense to be right.
Yeah. I'm
not saying I don't want to have a good offense. I do. But I want my defense to be right. I want these boys to be, I want to be able to be so confident that when they step on the field, it's like, hey man, I'm not worried.
Right.
I'm not worried about these guys at all.
Right.
I'm confident these guys can stop. They go up against, they can stop.
And I would agree with him to the point of, we all know that's kind of how Notre Dame was going to bag in, because they was putting up mega points against bad talent. So to his argument, he's kind of right by saying that, yeah, you really need to put up a lot of points from day one. It's kind of weird how that works in college football, because you could beat bad teams 50-6, and then they think you're doing something. But really, the ultimate goal is to win the game and look good. Because I think ultimately the football purists won it out for Miami by saying it's what you do on the field, how you look on the field. Miami looked like a playoff team. It doesn't matter they wasn't scoring 44 points a game. Hell, they wasn't giving up 44 points a game either. They was knocking the block off people out there. So, they look like a complete team.
That's right. That's correct. And they looked so complete, even with what we had. Again, I'm not knocking Beck. I'm not going to criticize Beck. But just imagine somebody with my bad. Imagine somebody with, an even stronger arm than
Right.
Carson's. So hats off to this team. Hats off to the coaching staff for getting them guys together. In a different world, I would love for CC and Bain to come back for their senior year. I would love that. Okay. But it's different football now.
Yeah.
These kids, unless they want their degree and they really want a shot at winning a national title, plus, I don't think you can afford to pay both of them a fat NIL package to stick around another year.
Right.
And then pro. Not when they've been telling you for 2 years you a first-round draft pick. You a first-round draft pick.
Right.
Maybe it's me, but it always seems to me like they always, if it's anybody good on Miami, they always hurry up and go pro. They did that with Njoku.
Right. Yeah.
They did that with Njoku after that 2016 season when they won the Russell Athletic Bowl against West Virginia. And they were all like, Njoku's a first-round draft pick. He's a first-round draft pick, which he was with Cleveland. And we're all sitting around thinking, if he comes back, if Brad Kaya come back, he would have been the starting quarterback of that 2017 team. And Njoku would have been there. How much better would Miami? They went 10-0 that year, remember? And they still got their butts handed to them in the ACC title game. But I know why Kaya left, because the O-line, he wasn't. You put Brad Kaya behind this O-line or Stephen Morris or even Jacory. Oh, my God.
It's crazy.
So anyway, this is where it starts. Mario did the right thing. He built up the trenches. And it's going to continue. There won't be any drop-off, people. If anything, it will be some improvement.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The offensive line is going to be as good, just as good, and maybe better. The defensive line is going to definitely be, I think they're going to be better next year on the defensive line. I really do. With Bain and Mesidor leaving, I really think with them getting this dude from Missouri, and with the way Lightfoot was playing, and Lightfoot was blowing people up, and he ain't even bulked up yet.
Right, yeah.
I got 3 5-star defensive tackles. They not freshmen. They played. This is going to be Justin Scott's junior year, Blunt's senior year, Moten's senior year. These are all 5-star dudes. These are Alabama, Georgia type dudes.
Yeah.
That defensive line is there.
It says Cam Von, West Virginia, is a human highlight stick with Tony and the wide receiver from South Carolina and the new QB coming in. Oh, my God, it's going to be epic.
The guy from Carolina, that's right.
Yeah, South Carolina, yeah.
They sure did. So you're going to have him and the dude from Duke. So I ain't mad at JoJo. He's seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
I got dudes coming in that's ready. They not going to have the dropsies. They not going to have off-the-field issues. I don't know what JoJo's off-the-field issues were. I know he had some off-the-field issues. What they were, I don't know. I can't speculate. But that played a lot into his game this year. I don't think his focus. So
he's a Blunt, a junior, too.
He need a change of scenery and a change of environment, man. And then I'm hoping for the best for him. I hope this kid is another Jeremiah Smith for whoever he played for.
Yeah.
I know people say, well, why couldn't you do that here with us? It ain't gonna always pan out that way.
Nah. And
But
it's
that don't
crazy.
mean I wish the best for that boy. I don't care. I hope he come to Missouri.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey, look,
serious.
I'll go watch him.
I'll go watch him if he come to Missouri.
Yeah, I'll go watch him for sure.
I mean, wherever he goes, I hope he balls out. It just didn't work out in my every kid that come to Miami. It don't mean it's gonna work out. That's for every team. Everybody
And
you get.
it's tough. It's tough because I know, like I said, I'll say it again. It's tough because we know a lot of people, invest a lot in these players, especially the hometown players. You don't think Mizzou mad that they lost Cantwell? You don't think they upset that they let somebody get out of their backyard and come down to the University of Miami? Yeah, heck yeah. They probably would try to pitch everything to get them. But, stuff happens, and even when you do get a hometown guy. Yeah.
They didn't want to lose Cantwell.
Right. So
they didn't want to lose Cantwell. Hell no. Even if Georgia would have got him.
Right.
Even if Georgia would have got him, they didn't want to lose that dude.
Right.
He's right here in your state.
Right. And I agree with Pinellas here. Say some kids need to get away from their environment. True.
Right.
That's
some
so true.
Need to check. That's why I said what I said about Derek Thomas. How in the world did Jimmy Johnson let Derek Thomas get away to Alabama? Well, Derek Thomas had troubles growing up with it was rough in the early 80s growing up in Miami. And he needed a change of environment. And Alabama offered him that. And he went there and became who he became. One of the best defensive players in the NFL history. May he rest in peace. So he was a Miami kid. But that's one that got away. But he needed something different.
Right.
That's all. He needed something different.
And it happens.
So he got away.
It happens. And
what's the receiver? What's the crazy dude that took his clothes off with the Buccaneers and walked off the field?
Oh, Antonio
that played
Brown.
With the Steelers.
Antonio Brown.
He from Miami.
Yeah.
Why didn't he come to Miami? There's a lot of dudes that was at Miami that got away. Lamar got away. All them cats was from 305 Dade County, and they got away. You're not gonna keep everybody. Sometimes somebody kid might want to see some snow. He might want to go somewhere it's cold, just see something different.
Right.
Okay, I'm not gonna take nothing away from a kid like that. God bless the kid like a Malachi or a Duke Johnson that say, "Hey man, I'm staying home to rep my city. I'm staying at the crib." Beautiful, wonderful. But for the ones who want to go somewhere different, I ain't mad at you. If you want to go to Texas or if you want to go play at Michigan, who's that linebacker out of Miami? He decided to go to Michigan. I ain't mad at the kid because he went to Michigan. Like I said,
where did Chad Johnson go? Chad Johnson went to Oregon State, didn't he?
I thought he went to Michigan. When like 2 years ago, Miami was trying. He was a 5-star linebacker.
Oh no, we were talking about. I'm talking about Chad Ochocinco. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, he from Miami too.
Yeah, he went to He went to Oregon State, didn't he? Or where did he go out of college? Yeah. What's happening there, Canes?
You ain't gonna keep everybody.
Right.
Even with winning it all, you still ain't gonna keep everybody. Even with the run Miami made, you think, oh man, they made a hell of a run this year. A lot of kids gonna want to go to Miami now. They want to go down there and play. Well, not always, and other schools gonna maybe offer you more money, and you'd have thought the big tackle at Colorado, okay, Mario can get him. They known to develop tackles. They known to put dudes in the league. He's a shoe-in. Well, he wanted too much money.
Right.
Okay. Wanted too much money. And his downside was he wasn't the best run blocker.
Right.
As big as he wasn't the best run blocker. He wasn't like CC that will mow people over with the run blocking. So, okay, I'm not going to invest $4 million in you to come here for a year and you can't run block like I think. There's other guys out there that are just as good as you, or that might give you
that's
that
QB money too. That's QB money right there. $4 million.
The dude from Georgia that's coming, what is he? 6 foot, 6'3" or 6'5", 300 something pounds.
3 something.
Okay, but he's a hell of a run blocker.
Right.
I need to make holes for Fletcher and Brown and Lyle and Pringle in the AB gap. Okay, give me him, because he gonna come with a much cheaper price tag than this dude that ESPN been propping up. They say, well, he's the #1 tackle. And well, how did he end up in Colorado then?
Right. He was a 5-star.
If he was so good,
I thought he was good though. I'm not gonna lie. I watched him several times.
I'm not saying he ain't good. I'm just saying the one flaw in his game is what's important to Miami.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He said, I'm out here in my yard with my shirt off and flip flops. Hey, I think he trolling us now. What's up, man? 850, man. How you gonna troll us? He said he out here in the yard with his shirt off and flip flops.
I wish I could flip my screen and show.
Oh no! Let me see if they can see. I have to move stuff. Oh, there you go.
There you go. And this is just the first round. I might have a half an inch down right now. We supposed to get the bulk of this shit after tonight, after like 9, 10 o'clock. We supposed to get. They talking about 6 to 8 inches or something. We about to get here.
Right. 850. We'd rather have that white stuff he got back there than that ice down there in Georgia and stuff.
Right.
And Texas rather.
Texas and Arkansas and Oklahoma are about to feel it going into Southern Illinois and Kentucky. They about to get it with that ice. They talking about 3 inches of ice, player. That's enough to take everybody's power out.
Somebody finna be out without power. He said Mayweather 6'7", 325, Georgia O-lineman. That's a big boy.
Okay, all right. Now, if I put him at left tackle, and the pancake honcho at left guard, and Cantwell at right tackle, and they got the guys for guard. They got 2 dudes that's gonna be going at it for center, or vice versa. If I put him at left guard, and the pancake honcho at left tackle, dude. Now I got 5 stars almost all the way across the board again with the O-line, and I got the depth. I got some guys. I got depth.
Yeah. Hey, hold on 1 second. He say Pinella say it's 75. Hey, look, won't all y'all just put in the temperature where y'all at in the chat, so we just know. Put it where you at in the temperature where y'all where is it. Yeah. We ain't even gonna tell you the temperature where we at.
Right. I'll tell you our temperature right now is about 5.
Right.
Hold this motherfucker outside.
Yeah, put in the chat where the temperature y'all at. It says
it was
Muhammad,
5, baby. I went to True Value to get some salt, man, and my mirror said 5. I said, damn, the last time my mirror was this low, I was in Detroit.
Right. Hey, that's crazy. It says Mohamed Torrey is coming back this season. Big plus. Yep, it is. It says linebacker position.
Gonna have him. Yeah. Gonna have him and Aguirre as your 2 linebackers. And they got some other freshmen that were there. They're gonna be sophomores as other linebackers. I'm not worried about the line. They may get another guy in the secondaries. I want to see who they're gonna put at where Keontae was, that flanker, that nickel package.
Yeah.
Who they might put in that flanker spot.
Or they might go pick somebody up in the late portal. You know what I'm saying? You just never know.
Because Poyser's gone. Of course, Thomas is gonna be leaving. Keontae leaving, but you got OJ Frederick coming back.
Right.
As O'Connor, I'm not gonna knock O'Connor. He's a freshman.
Yeah, he's young.
He's young and got upside, you know,
and got experience. Look, he on the biggest stage.
Look what happened look at OJ last year. OJ got picked on in that Syracuse game. Right. And he showed flashes of potential. So they're gonna work. These are the kids you end up developing because they're there.
Yeah.
Now, if you can get in the portal and get you another stout cornerback or safety, because Bryce Fitzgerald is probably going to be one of your safeties starting.
I'm going to say Poyser coming back. There's somebody said Poyser coming back.
Well, then okay, it'll be him and Fitzgerald because Fitzgerald had 6 interceptions as a freshman.
Right. That's crazy. They said, I know I might be in the minority, but I'm hoping Dawson takes a job some other place. Hey, 850, you hard on
We're
Dawson,
not gonna
man.
dog you, bro. We not just because we're not gonna dog you because we disagree. You have a right to your opinion. Your opinion is respected. Um, I like Dawson's upside. I think Dawson was kind of handcuffed with what he had to work with. I really do. I really believe if Dawson has the right type of passer, and if he has that type of receiver that can complement or draw attention away from Malachi, a Jeremiah Smith type receiver, a 6'2" to 6'4" type guy that can run, block, run great routes, and got hands that can go deep and stretch the field or make possession catches. I think his offense, he could open up the offense a little bit more because the run game is there.
Yeah.
The plays to Malachi are there, but you need, I'm not taking nothing away from CJ Daniel or Marion. They did great. They did outstanding.
Hey, I think we need to tighten up on
You didn't have that tall threat that you thought Moore could become. Now maybe Joshua Moore can become that.
Right. Maybe.
That he's somebody who is worth developing.
Right.
Maybe the guy coming in from Duke is that guy. Well, he's that reliable. Who was the guy that went to the Vikings? KJ. Remember KJ a couple years ago? Him. He was that guy. He was 6 foot, but you knew when you threw him the ball, he was gonna get it.
Yeah.
We need Miami needs an Andre Johnson type, fast but strong, big type guy. Like the guy Louisville had that on us a little bit. That's going to be in the NFL.
Yeah, he was beasted.
That's what Miami needs. You put him out there with a Tony and the third receiver, then that third receiver can be somebody like a CJ Daniel or a Marion. Now I got a 3-headed monster with some nice guys coming off the bench if I got to go to a 4 receiver set. And we haven't talked about tight end at all.
We're going to miss Bauman, though, because
we're going to be looking for a new tight end coach.
Yeah, we're going to miss Bauman because of the simple fact, I was looking at the numbers. He played almost 1,000 snaps. I didn't even know that, like 900 or something snaps.
I mean, I'm not going to hang his whole career in Miami on what happened in the championship game. Did he blow it?
But he was blocking. He was blocking his ass off all season.
He just missed the block with the punt.
Right.
That was miscommunication or something. Lofton's coming back next year, but Lofton is not a true tight end. He's 6'2".
Yeah.
You can't bulk him up anymore. He's a halfback type dude that can catch out of the backfield.
Right.
He's a great blocker on the perimeter, and he's the kind of guy that you can put out on the edge with a tight end that you can sneak out there and throw a pass to.
Right.
Because he's a hell of an athlete.
Right, yeah.
Instead of bulking him up, I might be wanting to try to keep him where he at, or maybe even slim him up a little bit body fat wise and put him in a halfback type role.
Yeah, they got to find a way to get him more in the game, in the system.
But they're going to be looking for a new tight end coach. And it really sucked losing old boy at the beginning of the year when he transferred out. What's his name? The tight. He caught that touchdown against Florida, first game with Cam, the first touchdown. Right. Him. No, not him. The other one. Hated losing him, but hey,
it happens. All right, I want to read some of this weather. This weather out here that some of these people got. In Tallahassee, somebody got 68 degrees. Palmetto, 80 degrees. God dog it, boy. The Jacksonville, 70 degrees. Who else out here? Somebody did I say Tallahassee? Somebody say Tallahassee? 68 degrees. Look at that. It says, how can we use Lofton? We can use Lofton how Indiana used their H-back 37. Interesting. Yeah?
We could.
Yeah.
We could. That's why I like Dawson. I have faith in Shannon Dawson. I'm not worried about any of that. I really think that they can do what they got to do when he has the right people in place. I just feel like, for as well as Miami did with what we had, and I'm not taking nothing away from the people we had, Marion, Beck, or CJ Daniels, they showed what they can do.
Right.
Dawson's offense worked around their skill sets. If you go out here and get the type of running back or type of receiver like a Jeremiah, like the dude at Louisville, uh, if Moore can turn into that, I would love to see Moore really get his stuff together. Him, the dude from Syracuse, and Malachi. That's your three-headed monster. With a four-headed monster at running back, I really hope Lyle doesn't leave, because Lyle was hurt all year.
Yeah.
Got that ankle rolled up in the Notre Dame game, and he was never really quite the same.
Right.
Okay. He was your one back starting out the season.
Yeah.
He started the season on Fletcher.
Right. Yeah.
We all know what his upside is, because he most reminded me of somebody like a McGahee or James Jackson.
But we gotta be honest though. I just think that the identity switched during the season, and that's how Fletcher got more burned. I think the identity switched because they needed that big physical presence that can grind and eat up clock, and that's how Fletcher really started getting the burn.
Fletcher got the burn because Lyle was hurt. So he come in, he was automatically your number one.
Well, yeah.
Pringle got the burn after the SMU game when everybody was bitching at Dawson about, man, we need to do something different besides A gap, B gap all the time.
Right.
Team stacking the box. SMU put all 11 people in the box to stop a run play.
Right.
And that's when Pringle got in, and they started running the zone running and bouncing shit outside. And then, okay, you saw what they could do on the outside. But at that point, Lyle wasn't 100% because of his ankle. Because we knew what Lyle could do. He showed you when Cam was there last 2 seasons back. Right. So that could be a four-headed monster, because I don't think Brown is going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And he's reliable out the backfield. Hey, got a quick question.
He's a reliable.
Orange or Green, is that that WNC? That's West North Carolina. That's where you talking about. You tapping in from? Because y'all supposed to be getting some bad weather too, is it? Yeah, he said balmy 37.
Georgia, all Alabama, Mississippi, the northern parts.
Oh, that's right. They did cancel the late portal. It said no more late portal. They canceled it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
It's done. And it's a lot of guys in the portal that don't get picked up, and that's pretty much the end of their career.
And that's crazy when you think about that. It says we had to hit let me read this real quick. We have a transfer, the head rocker from Boston College, a strong safety to replace Thomas. His name is Omar Thornton.
Oh.
Go watch his highlights.
That's right.
Yeah. I do need to go watch his highlights though.
From
I haven't seen him.
Right. And I read there was another dude they got that's from the who he played for. He from down here. It might have been him. I'm not worried, brother. I am not worried. I know CBS and ESPN and Joel Klatt and all them gonna say what they want to say. I don't pay a lot of attention to them. I listen to Pate and the blonde-headed dude that be on. I see him on Instagram. He would On 3. They kind of know what they're talking about. These other dudes, I don't put much stock in what they say, man.
Because they follow more of the I would hate to say blue bloods, but yeah, they follow more of the blue bloods where they just want to talk about Bama, Georgia, blah blah blah. So
I mean, it's cool that Indiana won. ESPN wanted them to win so bad. They kept showing that boy and his family and mom and daddy so much. It reminded me of the Notre Dame game. They kept showing CJ Carr mama over and over and over and over and over in the game.
Right.
You didn't show you showed Fletcher mama a few times, but you were showing Mendoza. It's all about Mendoza and all about this funny looking coaching.
Yeah, but we already know how that goes. That's the media market, marketing
that's
that comes up.
ESPN trying to sell, they trying to sell this shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. Fletcher had a great season. I think next season he'll be a first round pick of the season. Lyle was injured. He's going to be fine. That's from Double B.
I think, man, and the way Fletcher run, he looks so much like Derrick Henry.
Boy, he big boy, man. He big boy. That's you.
Yeah, he's 6'2", 6'3", he weighs 225. You know, I mean, McGahee was a big dude. McGahee was what, 6'2", about 215 to 220, but he just ran differently. Watching Fletcher run, I'm like, he looks so much like Derrick Henry when he run the rock. Yeah. And I don't mean just because of his hair, just the way his style of run. He looked like that, whereas, you know, McGee was just so smooth. He had moves. He knew he made this.
Somebody
all my running backs.
Hey, somebody put in here they never showed Beck family all year. Somebody said it.
They didn't. They showed his mom a couple times, and that's it.
Right.
You know, but hey, it's all good. And look, it's all good. It was a feel-good story for them. They won. I'm not expecting. I mean, part of me says, man, I hope we get some get back on them in the playoff. I don't even see Indiana making the playoff.
Yeah, they lost a lot.
I don't see. They lost so many people off their team. I think Indiana be lucky to win 8 games next year.
Mm.
I really do. I know they got a good staff. They well coached, but I can't see Indiana winning more than 8, maybe 9 games next year. I don't think they'll be in contention for the Big Ten. I think it'll be Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon and Iowa this time around for the Big Ten.
Mm. That's crazy. Somebody said I think Lofton needs to lose 15 pounds to be an extra back. Needs to lose 15 pounds to be an extra back.
Well, I mean, I don't say he need to lose weight. Just don't bulk up anymore. Just don't bulk up anymore, because as for a tight end, we want somebody that's going to be 6. We want a 6'4" type tight end, 6'5" type tight end. Okay,
right.
Arroyo was what, 6'4", 6'5". You know, oh boy, that Beck to throw to at Georgia. That's with the Raiders. What, he's 6'6", tight end. We need a tight end like that. We need a tight end that's tall, you know, that can catch the rock out, you know, possession type tight end. That's what we want. 6'2" is not the answer, in my opinion. Mm. I don't want him. I mean, I'll take him at the weight he's at now. Okay, I'll take him at his weight now. I just prefer to have him as an H-back type guy that can be in the backfield and complement whoever's back there. If you got Pringle back there, put him back there with him. If you got Lyle back there, or Fletcher or Brown, I could put him out there with him, and maybe I could fake a play action handoff and hit him out the backfield, because he's an athlete and he got hands. He's shown he can catch shit. He's just taking some big vicious hits. Yeah. He took a big hit in the SMU game. They lodged the ball loose. And he took that big hit in the game against Ole Miss that pretty much cost him being in this game, where he was caught in the blood. He took a vicious hit, and he still caught the ball. That's what I like about him. He catches the ball. So
this is I don't think towards ACL. But he'll be ready to go next year. He'll take Bane's spot. Yeah, and Wilson will take Mesidor's spot. Somebody put in the loose 6 degrees.
I think Lightfoot's gonna get in there before Lowe. I think Lowe will play the role what Lightfoot did this year, be the third dude. Mm. Remember, Lightfoot will come out there at the same time with Bane and Mesidor. Right. And it was really hell for the other team then. I think that's what Lowe will be. Lightfoot is going to be the guy. The dude from Missouri going to be the other guy. And then Lowe will be the one to come in and be that third type defensive end that'll come in and complement those two and complement the D tackles. If Moten needs a breather, or if Scott needs a breather, I can bring Lowe in, because he can play the outside or in the inside. That's what I say. I'm not worried about these. I'm not worried about Miami on that D line. I'm not worried about them. I think they should go get another linebacker or the ones they got to complement Aguirre and Torrey. Because you can develop linebackers because Torrey is gone, and I don't know if Aguirre is a junior. He may be a junior this year. You're going to lose Torrey after this year. So I can afford, if I don't get a big-time backer in the portal, I can afford to work
guys.
with
I think they got
freshmen.
I think they got Keith. What's his name? Wiley
They
Jr.
got some guys.
And some other guys. Yeah.
See?
I think we lost this.
I developed, Dwayne. Them the guys developed.
Right.
Those are the guys I developed. I'll develop them. Okay? I'll develop them. I can afford to develop these guys because I got some guys here now.
Right.
It's the receiver position. The receiver position, I can't afford to mess around. We right on the cusp. I don't have time for JoJo to get his act together. Right. If there's some dudes out here that's some killers in the portal, and they're not gonna cost me a lot of money, I'm going to get them. Right.
Now this one, it says Lyle has never been great. He was built off potential of what he did 2 years ago against bad teams. Interesting perspective.
That's an interesting perspective. He got a lot of burn in them games, and he broke that long run against South Florida.
Yeah.
When Miami played South Florida, and I ain't gonna say South Florida was a bad team. I mean, that's a different. That's a different opinion on it.
Yeah. I think
Lyle has. I think Lyle has a lot of upside, and he's a better blocker than Pringle because he's bigger than Pringle, and he's shown
he's not better than Fletcher blocking. I don't think.
No, and I've even seen. Listen, before we got on today, I finally got up enough nerve to watch the highlights for the championship game, and even on the one I did, it don't have the same effect as the Ohio State game in the Fiesta Bowl.
Right.
Got up enough nerve to look at it. Fletcher did whiff on the block where Beck got sacked up the middle. He did. It's going to happen. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
But if I got to choose between Pringle and Lyle, if Lyle is completely healthy, because he's the same type of back. He's very fast, very nifty, can make cuts, can make people miss. They both good. I ain't trying to lose either one of them. You got to get it in these kids' heads. I want y'all to compete. I don't want you to feel like you got to quit and transfer. Just compete. Competition. You're going to get some burn.
Yeah, it's a long season too. So
you're going to get some burn. And it's a whole season, and depending on who we playing and who got the hot hand and who got the rhythm, that's who playing. Today it might be Fletcher. Tomorrow it may be Pringle. The next day it might be Lyle. You just got to get a feel for that. That's what I liked about what Dawson said. You got to get a feel for the game and get a flow of the game and see how it's going. And I really do think that next year they will be able to start out more aggressively because you're going to be bringing in a quarterback that's a lot more aggressive and a better passer. He doesn't have to just be a game manager. This dude could be, I'm not going to say just like, but similar to Cam.
Right.
with the arm strength.
Right.
I watch highlights of men's and I'm like, damn, man. Duke lost some tough games. They played some good competition. They didn't play they played Illinois. They lost to Illinois. Or did they beat Illinois? No, they lost to Illinois. They played some tough teams, you know what I'm saying? And they went 7-5. And I thought to myself, man, if Duke would have had any little bit better defense, they might have fared better than 7-5.
Right.
So a lot of credit goes to the Miami's former coach, Manny Diaz.
Right.
I never said Manny was a bad coach.
No, nobody ever said that. It says, I think this one says, it says Luke Gilbert could be the next guy, could be that guy next year, tight end, 6'6", 230.
Oh, yeah, Luka Gilbert, yeah. Because I forgot about him. Thank you.
Yeah.
They said he played in the championship game. He just was out there blocking.
Yeah.
He didn't get no passes, but yeah, he could be they got to get a coach first. They might just develop what they got because they got him and another kid.
Yeah.
I
Says
don't know
Pringle
if
could be the next
old
elite
boy coming
scat
back.
back. Did you hear that?
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
He's short and nifty, man. He's that type of kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not,
Right.
like I said, if it's a passing situation, if I'm gonna have him in the backfield, I'm gonna have him back there with another running back and use the other running back to pass block, and he could be a decoy for Malachi, or maybe Malachi could be a decoy for him, and he needs the ball in space like Malachi. You get the
Right.
ball to Pringle in space is when he can do some real damage.
Right.
Because he's small, he's short, he's nifty, he's like that.
But I got
He's
a
showing you
question.
he can catch the ball. He caught that beautiful.
Yeah. But this is the thing that always goes through my head when I think about regular season playoff football. It's not a lot of small, shifty guys doing stuff. You have Malachi, which is just a phenom. But far as in the playoffs, you need tough, hard-nosed running because it's so different in the playoffs. And it's good to have these guys. You need all of these on your run to the playoffs. But in the playoffs, if you can watch this year and last year's playoffs, it's really been about physicality from all the games after the first round last year. This year, you had, of course, some good games in the first round, but it ain't been a lot of trickery in the playoffs. It comes down to teams just going out there, just whooping another team tail across the line of scrimmage and being able to move bodies. And you know what I'm saying?
It's like the NFL. It's really like once you get in the playoffs in the NFL, you know it's different. It's different football.
Yeah,
now.
It's different.
It's different ball. It's different ball now. Different ball now. So everybody playing different type of ball now. So
it's just different.
You got
I got a question. Now, this one is probably to you. Say Beck arm can't be healed. That interception had nothing on it. Yeah, I think that's what you were saying.
Maybe not. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. I don't know.
Lost your sound, E. Yeah, lost your sound. But it says Lofton got punched in the lung in the Ole Miss game. So, hold on 1 second. Let me send him a message here. I think he back there. All right, where do we leave off at here? Oh, there we go. You back in there, E? It said Mendoza brother was the backup quarterback at Indiana. He transferred to Georgia Tech and will get a look or probably look back in the 2027 season. I don't know. It says Indiana 8-4. Google them. It says Lofton Lofton not a tight end. He's a fullback. Okay. Going down through this list of these questions real quick. It's Lyle was the starter at Notre Dame. Nah, no, Fletcher was still grieving, but Lyle was the starter. He got hurt, and we know how Miami is with bringing guys back slowly. Yeah, I agree, Double B. It's just one of those things. I think when Fletcher got in, he just kind of took over, and I think, to me personally, I think the identity changed when they got the Fletcher, even though he got banged up and then Pringle came in and did what he did and stuff like that. But ultimately, I think during the playoff run, they knew they needed that more physical style. And that's why they kind of leaned on Fletcher more, and shortened with Marty Brown because you had the sure hands of him catching, and he was tough on third downs if you watched him all season. Marty was really good running between the tackles on the short down yard. And then people get knocked out the box. When when that happens. So you got your audio back, E? It says, hold on 1 second there. Hold on. I'm going to take you off and then bring you back. All right. It says here, it says, remember before the season started, Lyle was projected starter, running back, let that sink in. So we're so deep. That's true. That is true. And that's crazy. The thing, and that's the thing, you already knew somebody was going to transfer just because of how deep they are. And it's just hard. You can't make everybody happy. And so, yeah. It says, take a couple of more before we wind this down. What's up there, DP? I ain't see you out there. All right, we get ready to wrap this up for the day, guys. Check it out. We're going to have some new formats coming. We got some interviews coming. And also, I'll probably be doing a weekly, 1 weekday show. Going to try to start a members only channel where we can come in and we could all type in just one-on-one. And so look for some good things to come this year. And we appreciate the support. Eric I can't hear his audio, so we're having a little trouble there. But we'll be back same time, same place, Saturday, 11 o'clock. Look for something during the week from me. And until then, we out of here. Like, comment, subscribe so we can get this content out. And we out until next week. I appreciate you guys. Later.